For the most part, we like to keep everything in house. Not really talking about. Like obviously not revealing our entire whatever to the public, but there's a lot of misconceptions about everyone, and that's fine. It's control what we can control, and then let whoever talk about whatever they want to talk about.
Is it true that he does have like a bed in his office here? Is that like an actual thing?
No, he doesn't. He should, but he doesn't.
Jalen, how do you balance the accomplishment of getting to the first conference final in a quarter of a century with the work that still needs to be done, the task at hand, and what your ultimate goal is?
I think it was very important and great for the fans to have our backs and celebrate the way they did. But for us, we know there's a long way to go. And so we don't really look at it as an accomplishment. It's just the next step, and we're grateful, we're thankful, but we know there's a long way to go.
Obviously, you played against Tyrese in the conference semis last year, and then you guys end up in a WWE ring, staring each other down, and now you meet each other again with a chance to go to the NBA Finals. Number one, did WWE have a script to this season, and number two, just for you, what's it like to be matched up with him and have the history that you guys have meeting and a chance to go to the finals?
Yeah, WWE. They were cooking when they did that, but it's a great opportunity. Didn't really know Tyrese until we played like USA basketball together. We knew of each other. Great player. He's done a lot. He's quieted a lot of people. He's obviously their engine, and they go as he goes, and he does a lot for their team. So it's going to be a tough task, but I think as a team we just got to stick together and do what we do, and control what we can control. But happy, obviously, for his success. But this is like I said, this is a new challenge for us.
Did any part of you think that night when you guys are in that arena that you guys were going to meet again in the playoffs this soon, or was that just?
No, that night had obviously a lot of it's coincidental, but that night is totally different from obviously what we're about to go through. But I think it was a cool experience for both of us, and something that you can just like check off for your bucket list. It was a really cool experience to be a part of that.
For how, I guess we've got flappable in life, he might be that he's okay coming to be the heel in Madison Square Garden against you. Probably a lot of people maybe don't want to do that much in life.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was obviously something that he wanted to do, and the way he played last year in the playoffs, I mean, it was fitting, and so he played well in the Garden. Obviously, Knicks fans and Pacers fans, they go back and forth, but I think he did a great job. I think he did a great job with it last year, and it's just. But now we're moving on.
If your hand is healthy, would you use the chair?
I mean, I'm not going to answer that question.
How did that come together? Like, how did, from your vantage point, how did that whole thing come together? Be interested in ever doing it again?
Absolutely. I think it's a great experience. It's something that, as a kid, like you dream of being a part of something like that. I got a call from a man named Paul, who's a very well-known man, and ideas bounced around, and then there we were.
Jalen, some of the similarities, the way they have five guys who can shoot, and the way they push the ball, I guess it's similar in some ways to Boston. Does that Game 6 defense you guys played, the way you guys got back and communicated, is that sort of a blueprint for what you guys can be and have to do?
Yeah, obviously, the way we played, we showed we had the ability to do it. We're going to have to communicate, talk, and do whatever we got to do against this team too, because they're going to run, they're going to play fast, make some misses, and that's just in their DNA. And then, like I said, it's gonna be a long way to go. We got to have each other's back. We got to stick together. Nothing's going to be perfect, but our talk and our energy and everything has to be consistent.
When you look at Josh, when you look at Josh and you see physically what he looked like and how he stole his body all around, how much is that inspiring and motivating the team?
Our team, no one really cared. Just Josh. I think he deserved it, but I'm happy he's okay.
John, when it comes to the communication stuff in Game 6, after you celebrate the win and being happy you guys do what you did, is there like a little bit of frustration? Like, where is this more consistently when it's something as, I don't want to say trivial as like communication, but stuff you guys can control? It's like it does show up in waves. And we talked about before, like you guys have told on yourself a couple times. Like there's times you guys show you can do it. Is there frustration that it's like, where was this the game before or 2 games before? And how do you maintain that for a team that plays as fast as they do?
Frustration? No, but it's like we know we have the ability, and so I don't want to say it's frustration. It just gives us a chance to look back and like, guys, like we know we can do this, and so frustration, no, but like we know what we're capable of, and so it sets the bar. We just got to continue to play at that level, and especially against this team, it's going to be a challenge for us, but we have to do it.
Once you have a label, it's hard to shed that label, and I think this whole, I don't even really want to call it a run. It's just 2 series, but in those 2 series, he showed that he's willing to adapt, he's willing to change, he's willing to, do different things that he's used to, and obviously that's a willingness on his end, the trust and belief in his players. So I just think, everyone gives them a label, and they just run with that label since, for the last 10, 15 years. But I think the last 2 series showed his ability to adapt and change when necessary.
Josh, is this series about revenge, or is it just another year, another series?
Another year, another series. Y'all can write whatever y'all want. They're gonna, make it into a revenge thing or something like that. But, half the team didn't play last year. They were hurt. Jude, Dante, they're not here anymore. Zay's not here anymore. You got Kel, OG was hurt. It's a totally different team, totally different situation, totally different round of the playoffs. So we just got to make sure we're ready. That's an extremely talented team whose offense is clicking at all cylinders right now. So nothing about revenge or anything. It's just about next series.
Josh, they kind of trolled you guys a little when they won that series. Halliburton wore the Reggie Miller sweatshirt. There was a choke sign. I think Turner went outside and trolled your fans. Did that series, did that bother you? How they reacted? And did it bother? How long did that playoff loss stay with you?
Did it bother me? I mean, at the end of the day, if you win, you can really just kind of do what you want. I think everybody's different. Everybody embraces being in that spotlight differently. So if that's how they want to do it, cool. But for me, I don't know. Obviously, it was a tough series for us physically, especially at Game 7. I was hurt and couldn't play how I wanted to. So it's helped me for a little bit. But at the end of the day, I knew I gave everything I possibly could have given. So
I think it was Game 2 in Boston. You guys been behind the whole way. Jalen was having a really bad shooting night, and he scores in the 4th quarter. And right away, Reggie Miller says, you got to be concerned for yourself. Thinks here comes the best clutch player in the NBA. And it kind of felt like Tiger Woods' prime. Like you could be way back in the back 9, and you still got to watch because. Would you believe if he wasn't your teammate that there's an NBA guy who could suddenly swing a game like that when it just seemed like it's not happening today?
I don't know. I mean, there's obviously a lot of talented guys in the league, especially in that fourth quarter. Guys like Shea and Jokic and all that. But I think his ability to rise to the occasion, his ability to want the ball, to make the proper play in late game situations is unmatched. So he's one of the guys like, okay, if we get, even if we're down, if we're a couple possession game, towards the end of the fourth quarter, we feel extremely confident because we got guys that's going to make plays defensively, and then he's going to make the proper play offensively, whether that's scoring or, drawing to, getting guys open shots or those kind of things. So, I think, Reggie was right on that. I think he's the most clutch player in the NBA right now, and, we're happy he's on our team.
What's the challenge of coming off an emotional high and now getting ready for this next series? What's that challenge like for you?
Not really a challenge. If y'all have heard me say it all year. Everything was about beating the Boston Celtics. They were this, they were that, and it was always just, being who we are and being the best team we can be. Because then when you're so focused on beating Boston or beating a certain opponent, when you do beat them, then it's you're on top. You feel like you're on top of a mountain, and now you have to try to figure out what to do next. For us, it never was that. It was always next game, next series, be the best team we can be at the end of the season. So when you have that mentality, you're not really focused on one opponent or being on top of the world, in wins and in valleys and losses. So I don't think it would be a challenge. Obviously, they're an extremely talented team, and that would be a challenge. But I don't think the situations of beating Boston and it's going to be a challenge.
What do you think of the Jalen and Tyrese matchup? You guys played in the second round last year, then they're ranging in a WWE ring, and now they meet again, a chance to go to the NBA Finals. What do you think of that matchup and everything that's involved?
Yeah, WWE wrote a great script, so there's going to be a lot of guys that's going to be trying to get on WWE this summer. But no, I mean they're two of the best point guards, not just in the East, but in the league, and it's going to be fun. They both have two different playing styles. Obviously, JB scoring guy, more of a scoring guard. Tyrese, runs that offense, gets guys involved, pushes the pace, those kind of things. So there's going to be back and forth matchup, chess game, but both guys are extremely talented. Is he just playing with the damn door? And look forward to that.
How do they come back? They got 11 guys that they go to. We know you guys go 7.
Yeah, I mean we just gotta trust in each other, communicate at a high level. When guys are tired, ask for a sub, and just trust everybody.
A couple of guys in the postseason, the numbers have been stronger than the regular season. Do you see, based on what you're seeing on the floor, on tape, has the defense been better?
I think so. I think when it's playoff time, you want to do everything it takes to win, and I think you saw that, in all over the place the last couple of series. Obviously, that one huge mixed possession that he kind of rotated everyone. He rotated to one guy, someone already stepped up for him, and it was just a domino effect. So everybody wants to win, and we're locked in on that. We're communicating at a higher level, and I think the last two games of the Boston series, without Tatum, they were moving the ball a little bit faster. They were running quicker. It forced us to communicate at a higher level, and I think that's something that can help us, going into this series with Indiana.
You talked about Tibbs adapting in playoffs. What were some of the ways you did see him, adapt and change his ways a little bit?
Obviously, the Houston was the switching part. I think one of the games we came out and were very soft on our switches, and people thought we changed our coverage, and we didn't change it. We were just terrible at executing it at the players. That's one. I don't want to say too many more, but we got to show some of our cards. But his just ability to, switching, and obviously, some of the start of the quarters, put the ball in Mikel's hands as he's going, or when guys are hot, leave them in, or making those tough decisions on rotation. So. Like I said, you got to give him a lot of credit because he's given us a great game plan, making sure we're prepared, and he just deserves a lot of credit.